CIET NCERT presents the audiobook Curiosity, Textbook of Science for Class 6.
Page 9, Chapter 2, Diversity in the Living World. Trees stand in the sun and give shade to others. Their fruits are also for others. Likewise, good people bear all hardships and bring welfare to others. They give to others whatever they have earned. Wise saying. In the middle of this page, there is a picture of children going for a nature walk with adults. In the picture, there are peacocks, monkeys, birds, and butterflies too. It is a pleasant morning after yesterday's refreshing rain. Dr. Raghu and Maniram Chacha, uncle, have been invited to the school by the science teacher, Madam Sulekha, to facilitate an exciting nature walk. Page 10. Dr. Raghu is a scientist at the nearby research laboratory and Maniram Chacha is an elderly person from a nearby community. Maniram Chacha is an expert in mimicking bird calls. He is also brilliant at identifying a variety of plants and animals. To prepare them for a nature walk, Dr. Raghu informs the students that the objective of this walk is to experience the beauty and variety of plants and animals in the nature. The students are excited to join them. They are curious to interact and learn from them. The teacher advises the students to carry a notebook, a pen, and a water bottle. As they walk, they begin exploring the plants and animals around them. Dr. Raghu advises the students to notice the variety of smells in the park and emphasizes respecting all living creatures and observing them without disturbing. Maniram Chacha tells the students not only to observe different plants and animals, but also to carefully listen to different sounds. The students come across a variety of plants, including grasses, bushes, and large trees. They also observe a variety of birds sitting on the branches of trees, butterflies moving from flower to flower, and monkeys jumping from one tree to another. They record their observations in their notebooks and discuss them with Dr. Raghu and Maniram Chacha. The students can hear the chirping of birds. Dr. Raghu informs them that each bird has a unique chirp. This is an example of diversity in nature. Dr. Raghu requests Maniram Chacha to mimic calls of some birds. Maniram Chacha mimics different bird calls. The students enthusiastically start copying him. On the left-hand side, there is an image of a boy saying, "Wow, it is amazing how each bird has its own unique chirp." Have you ever observed different plants and animals around you? Share and discuss your observations with your friends and teachers. Section 2.1, Diversity in Plants and Animals Around Us. Activity 2.1. Let us explore and record. First, plan for a nature walk with your teacher to a park or a nearby forest. Second, while on the nature walk, observe different plants, insects, birds, and other animals. Also note the weather conditions, whether it is hot, cold, windy, and so on. Page 11. Third, you can collect different types of fallen leaves or flowers and create a scrapbook. Fourth, take care of plants and animals in nature. Ensure that you do not disturb the plants and animals in the park. Do not pluck leaves and flowers. Fifth, record your observations in Table 2.1 about the features of stems, leaves, flowers, and anything interesting in various plants. Some examples have been given for you in Figure 2.1 and Table 2.1. In the center of the page, there are examples of different features of some plants: grass, tulsi, holy basil, hibiscus, gudhal. Table 2.1. Observations of different plants around us. There are 6 columns in this table. The first column is serial number. The second is local name of plant. The third is the stem. Fourth, leaves, shape, arrangement of leaves. Fifth, flowers. Sixth, any other observation and features. First point. Row 1. Local name of plant, common grass. Stem, soft and thin. Leaves, a single leaf grows alternatively from different points on the stem. Flowers, to be filled by you. Any other observations and features? Green leaves. Row 2. Local name of plant, tulsi. Stem, hard and thin. Leaves, arrangement of a pair of leaves in the opposite direction. Flowers, pinkish purple. Any other observation and features? To be filled by you. Row 3. Local name of plant, hibiscus. Stem, hard. Leaves, to be filled by you. Flowers, to be filled by you. Any other observation and features? To be filled by you. Row 4. Local name of plant, neem. Stem, hard and thick. Leaves, to be filled by you. Flowers, to be filled by you. Any other observation and features? Leaves with smooth surface. Row 5. Local name of a plant of your choice. Describe its stem. Describe its leaves. Describe its flowers. Describe any other observation and features. Page 12. What similarities and differences do you find among the plants that you observed? You must have observed that plants have a variety of features such as tall, short, hard, soft stem, different shapes of leaves and their arrangement on the stem or branches, flowers varying in color, shape and scent. Now create a list of animals you observed during this walk or from your previous experience. Record the places where they live, the food they eat, and the ways they move around in Table 2.2. Some examples have been provided for you. Table 2.2. Observations of different animals around us. In this table, there are 5 columns. The first column, name of the animal, local name. The second column, place where they live. Third column, food they eat. Fourth column, the way they move around. Fifth column, any other observations and features. First row, name of the animal, crow. Place where they live, tree. Food they eat, insects. The way they move around, fly and walk. Any other observation and features? Carrying a twig in its beak. Row 2. Name of the animal, ant. Place where they live, nest in soil and burrow. Food they eat, leaves, seeds and insects. The way they move around, You have to fill this. Any other observation and features? Have 6 legs. Row 3. Name of the animal? Cow. Place where they live. For you to fill. Food they eat? Grasses, leaves. The way they move around? For you to fill. Any other observation and features? For you to fill. Row 4. For you to choose the name of any other animal that you see around. Also write about the place where they live, the food they eat, the way they move. Include any other observation and features that you notice. What are the similarities and differences among the animals that you have observed and recorded in Table 2.2? You would have observed that some animals live on land, while some others live on trees. Birds live on trees. Fish live in water. And some animals, like frogs, live on land as well as in water. Animals also have a variety of foods they consume and movements they exhibit. Sketch the plants and animals observed by you in your notebook or prepare a scrapbook with leaves, flowers from different plants and feathers from animals. Write all the details you have gathered about them. Page 13. While traveling to and fro from school, observe your surroundings and look out for a variety of plants and animals. Add the name of any plant and animal that you have not listed before in tables 2.1 and 2.2. Activity 2.2. Let us appreciate. First, close your eyes for 30 seconds and think of one plant and one animal that you have closely observed and have appreciated very much. Second, now each one of you can draw the plant and animal that you thought of on the blackboard. Third, what are your observations about the various plants and animals that have been drawn? Fourth, how many different plants and animals did the entire class draw on the blackboard? 5. Do you think there may be many more varieties of plants and animals other than those drawn on the board? In the center of the page, there is an image of children drawing various pictures of birds and animals that they see around them. The variety of plants and animals found in a particular region contributes to the biodiversity of that region. Page 14. Each member in the biodiversity of a region has a different role to play. For example, trees provide food and shelter to some birds and other animals. Animals help in spreading seeds after eating fruits, and so on. Can you think of more such examples? This shows that plants and animals are dependent on each other. Section 2.2. How to group plants and animals. How would you arrange your books and notebooks in groups? Would arranging them in groups help you better organize your school bag? Now let us look at the world around us. We are surrounded by a variety of plants and animals with different features about which you have learned in section 2.1. We can group them based on similarities and differences among them. Activity 2.3. Let us group. First, collect pictures of various other plants and animals. Cut their pictures from old magazines, newspapers, charts and other sources. Paste each of these pictures on a different card. Second, Divide your class in groups of 5 to 6 students each. Third, pool the cards prepared by the students in your group. Fourth, observe various features of plants and animals shown on the cards. Fifth, recall the features of plants and animals that you have listed in tables 2.1 and 2.2. Sixth, group them on the basis of common features. Seventh, share and discuss the basis of grouping you have made with other groups in your class. You will be surprised to see that the bases used by different groups may vary. What do you think are the reasons behind it? Different students might have chosen different common features for the grouping. For example, some students may have chosen the height of the plant as the basis for grouping, while others might have chosen presence or absence of flowers as the basis for grouping of plants. Page 15. There is an image listing some possible criteria of grouping plants and animals. The criteria mentioned include presence or absence of flowers, hard or soft stem, eating habits, place where they live. You may have grouped animals based on varied features such as what they eat, where they live, what color they are, and how they move. What is the importance of grouping? Grouping makes it easier to understand and study plants and animals on the basis of their similarities and differences. You will learn more about the importance of grouping in our daily lives in the chapter Materials Around Us. Section 2.2.1 How to Group Plants. You must have noticed that plants show variation in the features related to stem, leaves, flowers, and more. The stems of different plants vary in thickness, height, and hardness, while the leaves vary in shape, color, size, and arrangement. You might have tried grouping the plants in Activity 2.3 using one of these features. You might have also learnt in earlier classes that plants can be grouped into herbs, shrubs, and trees based on their height and types of stem. Let us study the features of plants in more detail and group them on that basis. Activity 2.4. Let us group. First, let us go on a nature walk again for some more interesting observations. Second, look closely at the heights of different plants. Are these plants shorter than you or taller than you? Third, is the stem brown or green? Touch and feel their stems and try to bend them gently. Can you bend the stem easily or is it stiff? Take care that stems do not break. Fourth, also observe from where the branches of the plants arise, whether they arise close to the ground or higher up on the stem. Fill in your observations in Table 2.3. A few examples are already given. Page 16. Table 2.3. Grouping of plants based on height and nature of stem. In this table, there are 6 columns. First column is the serial number. The second column is the name of the plant. The third column is the height. This column is further subdivided into short, medium, and tall. The fourth column is the nature of the stem. This is further divided into green or brown, tender or hard, thick or thin. The fifth column is the appearance of branches. This is subdivided into close to the ground or higher up on the stem. The sixth column is the name of plant group. The first row, name of the plant, mango. Height is tall. Nature of the stem is brown, hard and thick. Appearance of the branches is higher up on the stem. Name of the plant group, it is a tree. Row 2. Name of the plant, rose. Height, medium. Nature of stem, brown, hard, thin. Appearance of branches is close to the ground. Name of the plant group, shrub. Row 3. Name of the plant, tomato. Height, short. Nature of the stem, green, tender, thin. Appearance of branches, close to the ground. Name of the plant group, herb. Fill the below 4 rows using the examples from around you. Don't forget to fill the columns with the name of the plant, the height, the nature of the stem, appearance of branches, and the name of plant group. What differences do you observe among herbs, shrubs, and trees? How can you group plants as herbs, shrubs, and trees based on the data entered in Table 2.3? Some plants grow really tall and have hard, thick, brown, and woody stems. Their branches typically start higher up on the stem and away from the ground. These plants are called trees. For example, a mango tree. On the page to the left side, there is an image of a mango tree. On the bottom of the page, there are images of shrubs and herbs. These 3 images describe the types of plants. Page 17. Some plants are not as tall as trees. These plants often have many brown, woody stems that start branching very close to the ground. These stems are hard, but not as thick as the stem of a tree. These plants are called shrubs. For example, a rose plant is a shrub. Some plants are typically small with soft and green stems. These are known as herbs. For example, a tomato plant is a herb. Some plants with weak stems need support to climb and grow and are called climbers. Some plants creep along the ground and are called creepers. What can be other features on the basis of which you can group plants? Let us perform another activity. Activity 2.5. Let us compare. First, look at the leaves of different plants collected by you during the nature walk. Second, do you notice the variation in the shape and structure of these leaves? You may observe thin lines on the leaves of the plants. These are veins. The pattern of veins on the leaf is called venation. What difference do you see in the veins of the leaf? In the middle of the page, there are 3 types of leaves showing different types of venation. Hibiscus leaf with reticulate venation, banana leaf with parallel venation, grass leaf with parallel venation. In some leaves, you can observe a net-like pattern of veins on both sides of a thick middle vein. This pattern is called reticulate venation. For example, leaves of hibiscus exhibit reticulate venation. In some leaves, you may observe that veins run parallel. This pattern is called parallel venation. For example, the leaves of banana plants and grasses exhibit parallel venation. Page 18. Do you think that plants can be grouped on the basis of venation present in their leaves? Now let us try to explore the roots of the plant. Do all plants have roots? Are these roots similar? Activity 2.6. Let us find out. First, visit an open area where wild herbs and grasses are growing. You may use small herbs for this exercise. Second, using a khurpi, a trowel, carefully dig out a few different herbs without damaging the roots. To do this, you may wet the soil and loosen it. Third, wash the roots with water and observe them. Fourth, after you have done observing, make sure to replant the herbs so that they may continue to thrive and grow. What are the similarities and differences in the roots of the plants collected by you? What differences do you see in the roots of the plant? In the figure 2.5, there are two different roots of the plant. The first root system is that of a taproot. The example is that of a mustard plant. The second root system is of the fibrous root, and the example is that of common grass. Observe carefully the roots of a mustard plant. The root of this plant consists of one main root and small side roots arising from it. The main root is called the taproot. Another example of a plant having taproots is hibiscus, observed by you in activity 2.1. The root of this plant appear as a bunch of similar sized thin roots arising from the base of the stem. Such roots are called fibrous roots. Does your collection include any other grasses? What kind of roots do they have? Page 19. Is there any relationship between the type of leaf venation and the type of root of the same plant? How do we find this out? Activity 2.7. Let us relate and analyze. First, collect saplings of 5 common plants from your school nursery or any other nurseries to plant in your school garden. Examples of such plants can include lemongrass, marigold, sadabahar, periwinkle, and others. Second, before planting them, observe their roots and venation in their leaves. Third, record your observation in Table 2.4. Table 2.4. Types of leaf venation and roots. In this table, there are 4 columns. The first column is serial number. The second column is the name of the plant. The third column is the type of leaf venation, that is reticulate or parallel. And the fourth column is the type of root, fibrous or tap. Row 1. Name of the plant, lemongrass. Type of leaf venation, parallel. Type of root, fibrous. Fill the below 4 columns using examples from around you. Don't forget to fill the columns, name of the plant, type of leaf venation, and type of root. Do you observe any relation between the leaf venation and types of roots in these plants? A sadabahar plant has a taproot and its leaves have reticulate venation. Do other plants with reticulate venation have taproots too? Lemongrass, on the other hand, has fibrous roots and its leaves have parallel venation. Do other plants with parallel venation have fibrous roots too? Generally, plants with reticulate venation have taproots, while those with parallel venation have fibrous roots. Chickpea, chana, is another example of a plant with taproots and reticulate venation in leaves. Wheat is an example of a plant with fibrous roots and parallel venation in its leaves. Page 20. Is there any relation among the seed of a plant, types of roots and leaf venation? Are all seeds similar? Activity 2.8. Let us compare. First, soak some chickpea and maize seeds in water for 2 or 3 days. Second, remove the seed coat of a chickpea. Now observe the structure of the chickpea and maize seeds. Are they similar or different? In the page, there are two images given. The first is that of a dicot seed as seen in chickpea, and the second is the monocot seed as seen in the maize plant. You would notice that chickpea seeds are split into two parts. Each part is called a cotyledon. Plants that have seeds with two cotyledons are called dicotyledons, dicots. Maize has a single thin cotyledon. Plants with such seeds are called monocotyledons or monocots. What relation do you observe among plant venation, root types, and the number of cotyledons in seeds of a plant? Dicot plants have reticulate venation and taproot system, while monocot plants have parallel venation and a fibrous root system. You have learnt about some features used for grouping plants. Now, let us explore the grouping of animals in more detail. Section 2.2.2 How to group animals. Just like plants, animals too are significantly different from one another. How can we group such a wide variety of animals? What features can you think of to group them? In Activity 2.3, you have already set some basis for grouping animals. Let us explore a few of these in more detail. Page 21, Activity 2.9. Let us find out. You have recorded the movement of a few animals in Table 2.2. You may have also observed how other animals move from place to place. Let us now think about the types of movements in animals. In the center of the page is an image showing diversity in animals. There are images of cows, mosquitoes, earthworms, centipedes, tortoise, birds, rabbits, butterflies, snake, fish. All these animals are in their natural habitat. You can add more animals that you may have observed and create a poster on the variety of animals. Which body parts are used by the animals in the poster you have created and those in the picture given for movement? First, list these animals in Table 2.5. Second, note the ways in which these animals move and name the body parts used for movement. Some examples are given in Table 2.5. Page 22. Table 2.5. Movements in animals and their body parts involved. In this table, there are 4 columns. First column is the serial number. The second column is the name of the animal. The third column is the type of movement. And the fourth column is the body part used for movement. The first row, the name of the animal is ant. The type of the movement is to be filled by you. The body part used for movement is the leg. The second row is a goat. The type of movement is walks and jumps. The body part used for movement is legs. The third row is a pigeon. The type of movement is flies. The body part used for movement is wings. The fourth row is a housefly. The type of movement is walks and flies. The body parts used for movement, legs and wings. The fifth row is a fish. You have to fill the type of movement. And the body part used for the movement is fins. Fill the below 4 rows using the examples from around you. Don't forget to include the name of the animal, the type of the movement, and the body part used for movement. What conclusions can you draw from the data given in Table 2.5? Different animals have different types of movement. Animals can fly, run, crawl, walk, hop, or jump, and so on. These animals use different body parts for moving from one place to another. They may use wings, legs, and other parts that help them move. Here we have identified animals based on the types of movement and the body parts used for movement. How can we group animals based on their movement? Additionally, many animals differ from each other in shape, size, structure, color, and other features. Some of these features can also be used to group animals in various ways. Like plants, grouping of animals is important for understanding their diversity. On the bottom of the page is a box with the title, Know a Scientist. Janaki Ammal, 1897 to 1984, was an Indian botanist dedicated to environmental work and helped to document and preserve India's rich plant biodiversity. A sketch of Janaki Ammal is given on the left-hand side of the page. She played a key role in the Save Silent Valley movement. As the head of the Botanical Survey of India, she initiated programs to document the plant diversity of India. Page 23. On the top of the page, there is a box, More to Know. Title in the box says, Success Story, Save Silent Valley Movement. This is a real story of a forest in Palakkad district of Kerala. It is about preserving untouched beauty of a moist evergreen forest and its rich biodiversity. The now famous Silent Valley was saved by a remarkable movement led by common people who were not even residing in the vicinity of the forest. The battle against the proposal of a hydroelectric dam across the Kuntipura river persisted for 10 years. At that time, people used all possible available means such as widespread awareness programs, letters to editors, articles in newspapers, seminars, and petitions and appeal in court. The movement was successful in saving the Silent Valley. Section 2.3. Plants and animals in different surroundings. You might have observed during nature walks that different animals live in different surroundings. You have also recorded movement of animals in table 2.5. Does the movement of these animals depend on their surroundings? Let us consider fish and goats as examples. Fish live in water. They have streamlined bodies and fins for movement in water. Goats live in grassy areas and move with the help of legs. The size and shapes of animals also differ from one another. At the bottom of the page, there are images of a fish and a goat. The image describes the body parts used by the animals for movement. A fish swims in the water with the help of fins, and a goat walks on ground with the help of legs. Page 24. Activity 2.10. Let us compare and analyze. Look at the table 2.6. Recreate a similar table on the blackboard. Table 2.6. Animals and plants found in different surroundings. In this table, there are 6 columns. First, serial number. Second, in the desert. Third, on the mountains. Fourth, in the ocean. Fifth, in the forest. And sixth, any other. The first row, camel, is in the desert. On the mountains, we see deodar trees. In the ocean, we see fish. In the forest, we see lion. Any other feature, you have to fill it yourself. Fill the below 2 rows using examples from around you. Don't forget to fill the columns of animals and plants found in the desert, on mountains, in the ocean, in the forest. Second point. List the names of plants and animals that you and your classmates have observed in these regions or already know about. A few examples are given in Table 2.6. What are your observations regarding plants and animals found in various regions? Discuss your observations with your classmates. You might observe from Table 2.6 that the plants and animals found in one kind of a region are different from those found in another kind of region. During a discussion in the classroom, Alex recalls that he observed cactus plants with thick and fleshy stems in the deserts of Rajasthan. On the left side of the page, an image of the cactus is given. The cactus plant has a thick and fleshy stem and is found in deserts. Maya shares that she saw deodar trees in the Himalayas of Himachal Pradesh. On the bottom of the page, there is an image of a deodar tree in the mountains. These trees are conical in shape and have flexible and sloping branches. Notice that these two types of plants found in different regions are different from each other. Page 25. Why is it so? Why does the biodiversity of a region vary from that of another? Let us find out. There is very little water available in the deserts. A hot desert is typically very hot during the day and very cold at night. Therefore, you will find plants and animals in these areas that can tolerate and survive both the hot conditions during the day and cold conditions at night. The fleshy stems of plants found in the desert can store water and help them tolerate the hot conditions in these places. The mountains in extremely cold regions experience frequent snowfall. In order to survive in such conditions, some of the trees have the ability to let the snow slide off easily. Conical shape and sloping branches of deodar trees enable them to do so easily. You must have understood by now that biodiversity varies from region to region because of diverse conditions. Given below are the images of a camel from the hot desert of Rajasthan and the camel from the cold desert of Ladakh. What are the differences that you observe between them? What advantages do these differences provide to these camels? Towards the bottom of the page, there are two images of the camel, one living in the hot desert of Rajasthan and the other of a double humpback camel living in the cold desert of Ladakh. The camel in the hot desert has long legs with wide hooves. Alex shares that his grandmother told him that the long legs and wide hooves help the camels to walk on the sandy desert without sinking into the sand. On the other hand, the height and legs of camels in a cold desert are comparatively shorter than those found in a hot desert. These short legs allow them to walk easily in mountainous regions. Page 26. In deserts, food is not available easily. Camels store food in their humps. Camels in the hot deserts have one hump each that helps them to survive during the scarcity of food. Camels in the cold desert have two humps each. These two humps shrink in late winters because there is not much food available in the cold desert, and they have to use food stored in their humps during that time. Moreover, they grow long hair from head to neck, which help them survive the cold winters of Ladakh. What other features can help camels survive in the desert? Other students also start sharing their observations. Kashi from Rajasthan says that camels excrete small amounts of urine. Their dung is dry and they do not sweat. As camels do not lose much water from their bodies, they can survive for many days without drinking water. Maya talks about seeing plants with beautiful bright flowers, rhododendrons, in the Shola hills of Nilgiris. Here, rhododendrons are of shorter height and have smaller leaves to survive through the heavy winds on the mountain tops. However, Pema, who is from Sikkim, mentions that she has observed rhododendrons in the nearby mountains to be taller. So, even plants such as rhododendrons may exhibit different features in different regions to survive the condition of those regions. On the left side of the page are two images of rhododendrons. One of the rhododendrons is in Nilgiris and has orange flowers. The other rhododendron is in Sikkim with bright pink flowers. Saga tells his classmates that he went to the Andaman and Nicobar Islands with his parents for a special event. He saw huge whales and colorful fish in the ocean. His father explained that the streamlined body of the fish makes it easier for them to swim in water. Page 27. We have learnt that the plants and animals living in the particular region have special features that make them fit to survive there. These special features that enable plants and animals to survive in a particular region are called adaptations. The shape of the deodar tree and the height of the rhododendron are adaptations that enable them to survive in the mountainous regions. The place where plants and animals live is called their habitat. For example, the habitat of sea turtles is the sea or the ocean. The habitat of a camel is the hot or the cold desert. And the habitat of a rhododendron is the mountains. The habitat of plants and animals provides them food, water, air, shelter, and other needs for their survival. Many types of plants and animals may share the same habitat. Habitat plays an important role in shaping the biodiversity of a region. In the center of the page, there is a box with the title, Know a Scientist. The image of Salim Ali, the scientist, is given on the right side. Salim Ali, born 1896 to 1987, travelled across India to observe diversity in birds. He prepared a list of birds and documented their travel routes and habitats. He recorded the regions with high diversity of birds and took measures to conserve these regions. Koyala Deo National Park in Bharatpur, Rajasthan and Ranganathitu Bird Sanctuary in Mandya, Karnataka are examples of regions he preserved. He wrote a landmark series of 10 books on birds of the Indian subcontinent. He is referred to as the Birdman of India. He was awarded Padma Vibhushan in 1976. What are the different ways you can group plants and animals based on their habitats? One way is to group them into those that live on land and those that live in water. The plants and animals that live on land are said to live in terrestrial habitats. Some examples of terrestrial habitats are forests, deserts, grasslands, and mountains. Page 28. The plants and animals that live in water are said to live in aquatic habitats. Some examples of aquatic habitats are ponds, lakes, rivers, and oceans. Some animals, such as frogs, can live in water as well as on land. These are called amphibians. What would happen if the habitat of a plant or an animal is damaged? What would happen if a goat does not get grass to eat? Can a fish survive without water? Check with your parents, grandparents, and neighbors to know about the plants, birds, insects, and other animals they used to see frequently in their childhood but do not see them often now. These changes often happen when habitats are damaged. The damage to habitats of plants and animals results in loss of their homes, food, and other resources. This leads to the loss of biodiversity. In the center of the page is a box with the title, Do You Know? The box gives information and pictures of Bengal tiger, cheetah, and the great Indian bustard. The populations of the Bengal tiger, cheetah, and the great Indian bustard have declined in India due to loss of natural habitats caused by human activities. The Government of India has initiated several projects to conserve our biodiversity. Project Tiger was initiated in 1973 to protect the declining population of the Bengal tiger. The Cheetah Reintroduction Project was initiated in 2022 to restore the population of the cheetah. Similarly, habitats of the great Indian bustard have been declared as protected areas in the states of Gujarat, Rajasthan, and Maharashtra. Page 29. On the top of the page is a box with the title More to Know. The box has a picture of the sacred groves from the Western Ghats. Traditionally protected forests, sacred groves. Sacred groves are undisturbed patches of forest. Their size may vary from quite small to very large. Sacred groves are found all over India. They are home to different kinds of plants and animals, including numerous medicinal plants. These are protected by the local community, and no one is allowed to harm any animals and cut trees in these groves or disturb the area. This way, sacred groves are a community protected treasure of biodiversity. Find out about the sacred groves in your region. We must protect biodiversity to ensure our planet is full of life, helping plants and animals to survive and thrive. Keywords from this chapter: adaptation, amphibians, aquatic, biodiversity, cotyledon, dicot plants, fibrous roots, habitat, herbs, monocot plants, parallel venation, reticulate venation, sacred groves, shrubs, taproot, terrestrial, tree, venation, analyze, compare, create, explore, group, observe, record, relate. Page 30. Summary in key points. First, we are surrounded by a large variety of plants and animals. Such variety of plants and animals is a part of biodiversity. Second, plants and animals can be grouped on the basis of similarities and differences among them. Third, plants have similarities and differences based on features associated with roots, stems, leaves, flowers, and so on. Fourth, the method of arranging things into groups based on their common features is called grouping. Fifth, plants can be grouped into herbs, shrubs, and trees based on their heights, types of stem, and branching patterns. Sixth, plants can also be grouped as dicotyledons, dicots, and monocotyledons, monocots, based on the number of cotyledons in their seeds. Seventh, monocots generally exhibit parallel venation in their leaves and possess fibrous roots, while dicots typically exhibit reticulate venation in their leaves and possess taproots. Eighth, animals have different types of movements that can be a basis for their grouping. Ninth, biodiversity of different regions varies because of distinct environmental conditions. 10th, the special feature that enable plants and animals to survive in a particular region are called adaptations. 11th. The place where plants and animals live is their habitat. 12th. Based on their habitats, animals and plants can be grouped into terrestrial and aquatic. 13th. Due to damage of their habitats, plants and animals lose their homes, food, and other resources, resulting in the loss of biodiversity. 14th. We must protect biodiversity to ensure that our planet is full of life, helping plants and animals to survive and thrive. Page 31. Let us enhance our learning. Question 1. There are two types of seeds given, wheat and kidney beans. What differences do you find among the root and leaf venation of their plants? Question 2. Name of some animals are given. The names include horse, dolphin, frog, sheep, crocodile, squirrel, whale, earthworm, pigeon, and tortoise. Group these animals based on their habitats. Write the names of aquatic animals in the circle marked A and terrestrial animals in the circle marked B. Enter the name of animals living in both habitats in the part C. Question 3. Manu's mother maintains a kitchen garden. One day, she was digging out radish from the soil. She told Manu that radish is a kind of root. Examine a radish and write what type of root it is. What type of venation would you observe in the leaves of radish plant? Question 4. Look at the image of a mountain goat and a goat found in the plains. Point out the similarities and differences between them. What are the reasons for these differences? Page 32. The picture of a mountain goat and the goat found on the plains is given. Question 5. Group the following animals into two groups based on any feature other than those discussed in the chapter. Cow, cockroach, pigeon, bat, tortoise, whale, fish, grasshopper, lizard. Question 6. As the population grows and people want more comfortable lives, forests are being cut down to meet various needs. How can this affect our surroundings? How do you think we can address this challenge? Question 7. Analysis of the flowchart will give us the examples of A and B. The flowchart begins with plants. If the answer is yes, the next question is, does it have leaves? If the answer is yes, the next question is, does it have reticulate venation? If the answer is yes, then give the example of reticulate venation. This will be the answer to the example of A asked in the question. If the answer to the question, does it have reticulate venation, is no, give an example of a leaf that does not have reticulate venation. That will be the question B in the above analysis of the flowchart. Question 8. Raj argues with his friend Sanjay that Gudhal, hibiscus, plant is a shrub. What questions can Sanjay ask for clarification? Page 33. Question 9. Based on the information in the table, find out examples of these plants for each group. The table includes 4 columns. The first column is group. The second column is the type of seed. The third column is the type of root. And the fourth column is that of examples. The first row is of group A. The type of seed is a dicot seed. The type of fruit is a taproot. You have to give the example of a plant with a dicot seed and a taproot. Row 2 is the group B. The type of seed is monocot. The type of root is fibrous. You have to give the example of a plant with a monocot seed having fibrous roots. 9.A. What other similarity do plants of group A have? 9.B. What other similarities do plants of group B have? Question 10. Observe the label part of a duck in the picture given. What differences do you observe in the feet of the duck compared to the other birds? Which activity would the duck be able to perform using this part? The image in the center of the page is of a duck with webbed feet and a pigeon. Learning further. First, read about one scientist or a wildlife biologist who is working towards protection of Indian biodiversity. Prepare a brief report. Second, explore the contributions of Divya Mudappa, Usha Lachunga, Ghazala Shahabuddin, Nandini Vello, Vidya Athreya, Uma Ramakrishnan, and Divya Karnad towards biodiversity in India. Prepare a report of the work done by any three of them. Page 34. Third, label the plants in your school with their local names with the help of your teacher or the gardener. List them in your notebook. Fourth, with the help of your teacher, plan a field visit or a nature walk. Record your observations. Prepare a class biodiversity register by consolidating the observations and notes of all the students taken during the field visit or nature walk. Fifth, find out about Project Tiger and other similar projects initiated in India to protect our biodiversity. Prepare a presentation for your class. Sixth, divide your class into groups of 6 students each. Initiate a discussion in the class on how you can protect biodiversity around you. Prepare a group-wise report that includes suggestions given by members of each group. Seventh, interact with elders in your family or neighborhood to find out various plants and animals that they see now, but they were not seen earlier, and vice versa. Collect pictures of these plants and animals and paste them in a scrapbook. Find out more about them from your teacher. End of chapter 2.
Curiosity. You were just listening to this audiobook, Textbook of Science for Class 6. Narration, Dr. Pranita Gopal. Technical coordination, Bati Langlingdo. Sound recordist, Virendra Rawat. Assistance in production, Surendra Kumar. Directed and produced by Vimlesh Chaudhary. This audiobook is brought to you by CIET NCERT, New Delhi, India.